What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro, back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Seems like things are heating up, getting a bit spicy out in Arizona, out in the desert for Kari Lake. As she just took a major leap in her Senate race. We know her dealings with Katie Hobbs, Cricket Katie Hobbs, her battles. Seems like Kari Lake is now, taking the lead, and she has this viral clip that she released following her lead change in the polling for Senate race. I'm excited to check this one out and see what she has to say. She actually dropped this clip on Christmas, kind of put the icing on the cake, solidifying her lead that she is just now taking. So I'm excited to get in this one, check out what she had to say, guys. We're gonna jump straight into the clip. I'll get my thoughts after the clip on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys can get my thoughts on the back end. Yo, let's get straight into it, guys. Before we do that though, make sure you guys hit that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button. That's around the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Merry Christmas. I love you, Arizona, and I love you, America. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. You know, they always tell you that Trump is more of a liability than he is a benefit or an asset. That actually Trump is making it harder to win. And that if you want to be a winner, you gotta ditch Trump. That's what they tell you. And they generally point to the 2022 midterms or other elections and point out that Trump-endorsed candidates in swing states failed to get across the finish line. But this narrative, in my opinion, is complete junk. I think it omits most of the key context. They love pointing to recent memory. 2022 was all Donald Trump's fault. How is that the case when Trump wasn't even on the ballot? It's Trump's fault. It wasn't a Trump election, it was mostly an abortion election. And for the most part, Trump was laying low, politically dormant. The dynamic at the time was mostly the media setting narratives about Trump rather than him getting ahead of the story. Well, now is a completely different situation now, isn't it? Trump's more popular than he's ever been. He's more vocal and present than he's been in a very long time. And so the point that I'm getting at is, I don't know if this whole Trump inelectability narrative is as powerful or as significant as the Ron DeSantis camp and the Democrats generally imply. And the reason that's on my mind, the reason I'm saying this, the reason I'm thinking it, is because of what's currently going on in the state of Arizona. Let's just say, it just got real. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, well it's officially happening. I mean, think of a Trump candidate. What's the first face that came to mind? Kari Lake, right? Maybe someone else, but I'm sure a lot of you guys were thinking Kari Lake. Well, Democrats have been pointing forever at all the polling data claiming Kari Lake doesn't stand a chance. She's a Trump populist, she's viewed negatively, this, that, and the other. Well, I'm not so sure about that one. Kari Lake now takes the lead in 2024 Arizona Senate race. Former Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake has managed to take a sizable lead over her opponents in a race for independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema's seat next year, according to a new survey. Let's go ahead and take a look at that survey. It's from vcreek/AMG, which shows us some really interesting numbers. In a three-way race between Kari Lake, Ruben Gallego, and Kyrsten Sinema, Kari Lake leads by 6 percentage points. And here's why that's interesting. Because if you look at the data that's been collected over the last, 8 months or so, Kari Lake actually hasn't been performing so hot in most of the data released. Now, of course, as I'm recording this video, Real Clear Politics' website apparently falling apart. I think they're doing some sort of UI overhaul. And so I'm struggling to get the data here to show you guys on the video, but I did manage to get this. I got 2 polls right over here, which pretty much shows what's been going on. Ruben Gallego has had a sizable lead for the last year or so, but I've stated previously, and this is my opinion, that I don't think that number is going to stick. Specifically because a lot of the data collected happened right as or before Kari Lake even announced that she was running officially for that Senate seat in the state. Well, now she's officially running, the political dynamic is maturing, and the latest poll shows a massive leapfrog ahead of the Democrat challenger, which in number terms equates to a roughly 10-point swing towards Kari Lake. Friends, it's a completely different ballgame at this point. The claim has been that anybody politically married to Donald Trump in a battleground state like Arizona is done, but it seems as though Kari Lake is experiencing a little bit of a Trump bump as of late. And actually, that's exactly exactly what we're seeing in the state of Arizona. Kari Lake's most recently reported lead is actually following the Trump trend. The same poll finding Kari Lake 6 points ahead of Ruben Gallego also found these numbers. Donald Trump and Nikki Haley lead Joe Biden in a test of presidential general election matchups, and Kari Lake leads in a potential U.S. Senate matchup. In a head-to-head ballot test, Trump leads Biden at 46% to 41, with 5% unsure and 8% indicating neither. And in a second scenario, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on the ballot, Trump drops to 40%, Joe Biden drops to 35%, and Kennedy is at 16%. And in a test with a very wide ballot, meaning many other third-party candidates, potential third-party candidates, are now added to the list, Donald Trump benefits even further, maintaining his 40%, with Biden dropping down to 32%. The electable narrative is junk, and this data proves it. Kari Lake isn't some pariah connected to Donald Trump, viewed as toxic or extreme. Kari Lake's the more popular candidate as of now, and that follows data suggesting that Donald Trump is actually the most popular candidate, alongside Kari Lake on the same ballot. I mean, just think about the current state of Democrat politics in the state of Arizona. Things, I guess, in a way are going so badly that Katie Hobbs there, the Democrat governor, who beat Kari Lake, is now talking about getting tough on illegal immigration, even going as far to send demands to the federal government. If Democrats in Arizona are doing a 180 on illegal immigration, it means they're fearful of losing the middle. The way I look at it, though, based on all the data that we've seen from independent voters in battleground states, suggests that independents have largely ditched the Democrats. I'm not so sure how much a policy flip is really going to change at the end of the day. The idea is elect Ruben Gallego, the Democrat, to solve all the problems that Democrats created. I'm not getting that kind of mood in the air this political season. It feels more like a let's try something new environment. 2024, from my perception, seems to be taking a similar form as the 2016 election. The perfect kind of circumstances to get elected as a political outsider. Kari Lake just happens to be the embodiment of that exact brand. You know, maybe the problem last election wasn't Trump. Maybe the problem was a lack of Donald Trump. Maybe the issue is if you don't have Donald Trump on the ballot, then Trump loyalists don't show up to the same degree. There's always a new narrative telling you why now's the time that you need to ditch Trump. Look what happened in the last election, but we already know what happened in the last election. Why did Kari Lake lose? Is it because she's a Trump ally and viewed as toxic? Or could it maybe have something to do with the fact that the RNC doesn't spend effectively, wasting money in irrelevant states and irrelevant races, purposely sabotaging high-profile Trump-backed candidates in major elections? Could it have something to do with the fact that Liz Cheney and her father Dick Cheney actively campaigned in Arizona against Kari Lake? Could it have something to do with Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home being raided by the FBI a couple weeks ahead of the election, or the Roe v. Wade draft leak a couple months ahead of the election? No, it couldn't be that. Trump's electability problem isn't a Trump problem. It's an RNC and media problem. Same thing with Kari Lake. If Republicans can rally together and unite together half as good as the Democrats do in election season, where literal communists and corporate Democrats come together to elect dementia patients together, if they can do that, or if Republicans can do like 40 to 50% as good as Democrats do in an election season in terms of uniting, then there is no electability problem. The problem is from within. It's sabotage from within. It's Republicans shooting themselves in the foot. Kari Lake is perfectly electable. Trump is perfectly electable. In fact, they are both in their prime. They're political superstars in their own right. All they need is proper backing and maybe just a little bit of defense against the constant media slander headed their direction. Maybe, crazy. A wild concept, defending your candidates and fighting against the authoritarian communist Democrats instead of campaigning against yourself and your own interest. Who would have thought? The numbers are clear, folks. Kari Lake is back and back in a big way. Trump is back and back in a big way. And I think really this is just the very start, folks. I'm hearing a rumble in the distance, but I can't exactly make out what it is, although I'm pretty sure that's the rumbling of the Trump train. We'll just have to see.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from the Liberal Hive Mind. Definitely going to be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you who want to go over there and check that out. And also you guys to go over there and show Liberal Hive Mind some love. Guys, there we have it, though. Kari Lake coming through and taking the world by storm, take Arizona, I should say, by storm once again, guys. Kari Lake has proven that she is more than electable, guys. The reason why she was not elected the last time is because of the tomfoolery that Katie Hobbs pulled, and then the poor backing that she had, the poor support that she had coming from the Republican Party. Many speculated as to why she was not elected last time around. Trying to say that, you know, her endorsement by Donald Trump, or her endorsement of Donald Trump, is the reason why she is not being elected. She's just not electable if she, you know, she needs to separate herself from Trump. But that is clearly not the case. We're seeing in the polls, people are actually coming out to support Kari Lake. They're seeing the tomfoolery. She just needs a little bit of support. And this is actually, you know, going to show us as, you know, a party, as Republican Party, we need to band together during these election seasons in order to prevail like the Democrats are doing. If the left is able to band together and put up this, or patch together this, you know, crooked candidate like Joe Biden, guys, I know with the little bit of backing and support coming from the RNC, we could do the same, but with an actual Republican candidate that is actually capable of performing their duties, unlike Mr. Joe Biden. Honestly, not surprised to see Kari Lake taking this lead. People have seen what happened to her the last time around, and they're jumping on board. She got a lot of support then, and then, you know, her supporting Trump, her endorsement of Trump, I feel like it definitely added on. When you start having these blows like, you know, Trump had, where Trump got, 4 indictments, when you are that candidate, it starts to draw a lot of attention from media eyes, people that usually wouldn't, you know, look your way. When the people see you start facing these cases, or, you know, trials and tribulations, you know, in efforts of trying to get elected, they see the left start throwing these roadblocks at you. People start to get up, especially Trump supporters, start to dig deeper and look into why people are trying to keep you off the ballot, keep you out of that seat. And being that Kari Lake supports Trump, she endorses Trump, it's not hard for supporters to, you know, give her that same effect that we've seen Trump have in the polling against Biden. Definitely could see her coming out on top here. Definitely hop in the comment section, guys, and leave your thoughts. Let me know. Will Kari Lake prevail here? Also, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. And also hit that subscribe button, as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.